If I told you that you could own a fully custom, move-in-ready farmhouse, vaulted ceilings, wraparound porch, shiplap and all, for less than the price of a used car down payment plan on a stick-built home, would you believe me? Because in 2026, that's not a fantasy, it's an actual price tag. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which company is charging it, and exactly which luxury prefab farmhouse brand is quietly overcharging you by 6 figures for the same square footage. I spent weeks digging through 2026 pricing sheets, dealer quotes, and real buyer costs from 10 of the biggest names in the prefab and modular farmhouse space. Some of these companies will surprise you. One of them, at the very end of this list, is doing something with pricing that genuinely shocked me. So if you're even a little bit curious about ditching the mortgage grind for a factory-built dream home, stay with me till the end, because number 1 is not who you think it is. Before we get into it, if you're into home building, real estate, off-grid living, or just love watching dream homes get built for a fraction of traditional cost, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because we drop breakdowns like this every single week. Also, drop a comment telling me which region you're building in. I read every single one, and it helps me figure out what to cover next. Okay, let's get into the list. Why prefab farmhouses are blowing up in 2026. Quick context before we start the countdown, because this matters for understanding the prices you're about to see. In 2026, modular and prefab construction has completely shed its old trailer park reputation. These are code-compliant, bank-financeable, appraisable homes, built to the same state and local building codes as a traditional stick-built house. The difference is where they're built. Roughly 90% of the home is assembled indoors, in a factory, protected from weather delays, material theft, and the labor shortages currently plaguing traditional contractors. That indoor assembly model is why modular home costs in 2026 are landing, on average, somewhere between $80 and $175 per square foot for a fully finished installed home, compared to $150 to $300+ per square foot for an equivalent site-built custom farmhouse in a lot of markets. Some base modules alone are quoted as low as $50 to $75 per square foot before any site work is added. But here's the catch. Nobody tells you up front. That number you see advertised, 60,000 modular home, is almost never the real number. It's the base shell. Foundation, delivery, crane setup, utility hookups, permits, and finishing work can add another 40 to 60% on top. So throughout this list, I'm going to give you both numbers, the advertised base price and a realistic all-in estimate, so you're not blindsided the way a lot of buyers are. All right, countdown starts now. Number 10. 10. Future Homes, North Carolina. Kicking things off with a company that's flown under the radar for over 3 decades, Future Homes, based out of North Carolina, building modular homes since 1993. Price range. Their farmhouse-style modular shells generally start in the $100,000 to $180,000 range for base models, with fully finished turnkey homes landing between $220,000 and $400,000 plus, depending on size and finish level. What earns them a spot on this list isn't flash, it's consistency. Future Homes has quietly built a reputation regionally for tight construction tolerances and genuinely responsive customer service, which, if you've ever dealt with a modular builder who ghosts you mid-build, you know is worth its weight in gold. The downside? Limited regional reach. If you're not in or near the Southeast, delivery costs will eat into that attractive base price fast. That's actually a theme you'll see repeat through this entire list. The sticker price almost never accounts for how far your home has to travel, ranking them at 10 because they're solid, dependable, and affordable, but they don't have the design flexibility of the names coming up next. 9. Pacific Modern Homes, INC, PMHI, West Coast, headquartered in Elk Grove, California, with dealerships stretching into Hawaii, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington. PMHI is one of the few builders on this list, offering a genuinely panelized system that lets you bring your own architectural plans to the table. Price range, $200,000 to $450,000, depending heavily on square footage and customization. Here's what makes PMHI interesting. Most prefab companies hand you a catalog and say, pick one. PMHI will actually modify standard farmhouse designs around your specific blueprint, including an age-in-place building system for buyers planning to live in the home long-term, with automation and accessibility features built in from day one. The trade-off is price. You're paying a premium for that flexibility, and if you're on the West Coast, land and permitting costs in states like California and Oregon are going to stack on top of that home price in a way that can genuinely double your total project cost. So while the home itself is excellent, your total out-the-door number depends enormously on your zip code. 8. Huntington Homes, Northeast Efficiency Specialist. Now here's one that surprised me. Huntington Homes isn't the flashiest name in prefab, but their modern farmhouse line is arguably one of the most energy-efficient farmhouse builds on the market right now. Price range. Base shells typically run $150,000 to $250,000, with fully finished homes landing between $300,000 and $500,000. Why the efficiency talk matters. This model uses a 12-inch double-stud wall system combined with Marvin triple-pane glazing and a high-performance HVAC setup. Translation: this house is basically a thermos. In cold Northeast winters, that wall assembly can cut heating bills dramatically compared to a standard 2x6 framed home, which over a 20 or 30-year mortgage quietly saves you tens of thousands of dollars that never show up on the initial price tag. This is exactly the kind of detail most top 10 prefab home videos skip over, because it's not as exciting as showing you a pretty kitchen. But if you're the kind of buyer who thinks long-term, Huntington's efficiency-first farmhouse deserves serious consideration, even if the sticker price looks a little higher than some competitors on this list. 7. Becker Homes, the Amsterdam F Farmhouse. This one's for buyers who want a specific, named farmhouse design rather than a build-your-own catalog experience. Price range: $100,000 to over $500,000, which is one of the widest ranges on this entire list. And that's intentional, because Becker serves everyone from entry-level buyers to full custom clients. Their standout model, the Amsterdam F Farmhouse, delivers 1,531 square feet of living space with the option to add a 2-car garage, and it consistently gets strong reviews for its classic farmhouse proportions. Steep gable roof, deep front porch, the whole aesthetic you're picturing when someone says modern farmhouse. What sets Becker apart from smaller regional builders is financing access. They help buyers tap into rural development loans and other government-backed programs specifically designed for rural and semi-rural home purchases, which is a massive deal if you're building on agricultural or rural-zoned land, where conventional financing can be a nightmare to secure. Ranking them at #7 because the design is genuinely beautiful, but that price range is so wide that you really won't know your real number until you get a personalized quote, and that unpredictability knocks them down a few spots. 6. Clayton Homes, the volume giant. Alright, we're halfway through the list, and this next one is a name almost everyone building a modular home in the US will encounter at some point. Clayton Homes. Price range: base modular shells start around $60 per square foot before customization, meaning some entry-level models start under $150,000 total, while fully customized farmhouse builds can climb well past $300,000. Clayton has been in business since 1956, and they've grown into one of the largest off-site and modular builders in the entire country. Their farmhouse-inspired collection includes models like the Anna Fe, 1,860 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, an open kitchen with a stainless apron sink, a walk-in pantry, and that classic wire window door detail that's all over farmhouse Pinterest boards right now. Here's the real advantage of going with a company this size: speed. Because of their national factory network, some Clayton homes can be ready to move into within about 8 weeks, including installation, which is almost unheard of compared to an 8 to 14-month timeline for a traditional custom build. The catch, and I want to be honest with you here, bigger companies like Clayton sometimes mean less individualized attention during the build process compared to smaller regional builders. You're getting speed and price efficiency, but you may be one of hundreds of active builds their local dealer network is juggling at once. For buyers who prioritize speed and budget over white-glove customization, though, Clayton is very hard to beat, which is exactly why they land right in the middle of this list. 5. Champion Homes, Independent Agent Network. Champion Homes takes a different distribution approach than most companies on this list. They manufacture through a network of independent agents and builders rather than company-owned retail lots, which actually works in the buyer's favor in a specific way. Price range: starting under $150,000 for base farmhouse models, with finished homes typically landing between $180,000 and $350,000. Because you're working through an independent local agent rather than a corporate sales rep, buyers often report more room for negotiation and more localized knowledge of permitting quirks in their specific county, something a national call center simply can't offer. Champion's curated farmhouse lineup includes stylish front porch designs, specifically built to hit under that psychologically important $150,000 mark, which has made them a go-to option for first-time buyers or anyone building a smaller secondary property, guest house, or rural retreat. The one thing to watch here, because you're going through an independent dealer, quality and communication can vary agent to agent. Do your homework on the specific local dealer, not just the Champion brand name, before signing anything. Okay, real quick before we go further. We're now entering the top 5, and this is where the prices start doing something really interesting. 3 of the next 4 companies are premium, design-forward builders where you're paying serious money for architectural pedigree. But the number 1 spot on this list is doing something none of those companies are doing, and it's going to make you rethink what prefab farmhouse even means in 2026. So don't skip ahead, let's keep going. 4. Unity Homes, the precision design studio. Unity Homes operates more like an architecture studio than a traditional prefab manufacturer, and you can feel that the moment you start their process. Price range: typically $200,000 to $400,000 plus, depending on the model line and customization depth. Their process starts by building a full 3D computer model of your home's design before a single panel gets cut, meaning you get to walk through a digital version of your farmhouse, adjust window placement, tweak room flow, and catch design mistakes long before construction ever begins. For a lot of buyers, this eliminates one of the scariest parts of building a custom home, not knowing what you're actually going to get until it's already built. Unity's farmhouse adjacent lines, including their Ridgeline collection, offer smaller footprint options in the 1,100 to 1,250 square foot range, with shell prices that have been quoted around $123,000 to $140,000 depending on region. Northern climates typically run a bit higher due to additional insulation requirements. This is precision-engineered, architect-grade prefab. The trade-off is timeline and cost. You're paying for design iteration time, which means a slightly longer process than a company like Clayton, and a higher per square foot cost. But if design accuracy matters more to you than speed, Unity earns their spot at #4 easily. 3. DelTec Homes, sustainability first builder. DelTech has built a reputation as one of the go-to names for buyers who care deeply about environmental impact, and in 2026, that reputation is more relevant than ever. Price range: generally $250,000 to $500,000 plus, for fully finished farmhouse-adjacent designs, positioning them firmly in the premium tier. Off-site manufacturing already reduces material waste significantly compared to traditional job site construction. Some industry estimates put the waste reduction as high as 30%, and DelTech leans hard into that advantage with energy modeling, resilient building techniques, and materials chosen specifically for longevity and lower lifetime environmental impact. For buyers building in hurricane-prone or high-wind regions in particular, DelTech's structural engineering reputation is a major selling point. This isn't just an eco-friendly brand for marketing purposes, it's genuinely built around resilience. The price reflects that engineering investment, though. This isn't the builder for someone chasing the lowest possible price per square foot. It's the builder for someone who wants their farmhouse still performing beautifully in 40 years, with minimal maintenance headaches. 2. Connect Homes, the design icon. Coming in at number 2, and this is going to be the most expensive entry on our entire list. Connect Homes, based out of Oakland, California. Price range: $200 to $250 plus per square foot for the factory base build, meaning a modest 1,500 square foot farmhouse style build can run $300,000 to $375,000 before land and site work. Once you factor in full turnkey costs, site prep, crane set, foundation, and utility connections in markets like California, total costs generally land between $350 and $500 per square foot, so build that into your expectations early. Why does a company this expensive rank so high? Design. Connect Homes uses an open-source construction model paired with a network of factories across the U.S. specifically to keep shipping and construction costs as low as possible relative to their build quality, and the architectural results genuinely look like something out of a design magazine. Clean lines, huge glazing, and farmhouse modern hybrid exteriors that photograph incredibly well. If your priority is a home that looks like a custom architect-designed build, because in many ways it is one, Connect Homes delivers that at a price point that, while high, is still meaningfully below what a fully custom site-built architectural home would cost in the same coastal markets. This is a if you know builder, not for budget buyers, absolutely for design-obsessed buyers with the budget to match. Okay, everything up to this point has been either budget-friendly but basic, or beautiful but expensive. Now let's get to number 1. The company doing something genuinely different with 2026 pricing. 1. Loom Crafts Prefab, the value disruptor. Here's the one that made me want to make this video in the first place. Loom Crafts has built a full 2026 catalog of factory-built modular villas, cottages, and farmhouse-style homes with an aggressive value-first pricing model that's hard to find anywhere else on this list. Worth noting up front, Loom Crafts is based in India and builds primarily with light-gauge steel framing, so this entry works a little differently than the other 9 on this list. Price range: studio and single-room cottage or glamping pod-style units start around the equivalent of roughly $10,000 to $37,000 USD, scaling up to larger multi-bedroom farmhouse and villa configurations, priced up into the low hundreds of thousands for the largest, most customized builds. New pricing is typically quoted in local currency and excludes taxes and transportation. Always confirm your all-in landed cost before comparing directly to US dollar competitors. What earns them the top spot isn't just the price, it's the delivery speed. Loom Crafts advertises turnaround times of roughly 45 to 90 days from order to delivery, backed by a 20-year structural warranty, which is an aggressive combination of speed and long-term assurance that none of the premium US builders on this list are matching at anywhere near the same price point. If you're a North American buyer considering this route, factor in international freight, customs clearance, and local building code compliance, meaning your state's modular HUD or IBC certification requirements, since none of that is baked into the headline price, and it can meaningfully change your total cost and timeline. Now, I want to be fair and balanced here, because that's the whole point of this channel. A build this fast and this affordable will typically involve a more streamlined finish package than something like a DelTec or Connect Homes build, and buyers should always factor in foundation work, import or transport logistics if applicable, and regional permitting requirements, none of which are included in that headline price. There's no such thing as a truly all-in number until you've gotten a fully itemized quote for your specific site. But dollar for dollar, square foot for square foot, when you're comparing base model affordability against build speed and warranty length, this is the disruptor climbing fastest in the prefab farmhouse space in 2026. And that's exactly why they're sitting at number 1 on this list. So that's the full list. Let's do a lightning recap. 10 future homes. Dependable, regional, budget-friendly 9 Pacific Modern Homes Inc. Flexible, custom blueprints welcome, 8 Huntington Homes, the Efficiency King 7 RE Becker, the classic Amsterdam F farmhouse look, 6 Clayton Homes, the Speed and Scale Champion, 5 Champion Homes, best for negotiating locally, 4 Unity Homes, Precision, 3D model design 3 Deltec Homes, built for sustainability and resilience, 2 Connect Homes, the design magazine look, at a design magazine price, 1 Loom Crafts Prefab, the value and speed disruptor of 2026. Here's my honest takeaway after researching all 10 of these. There is no single best prefab farmhouse company. There's only the best one for your budget, your timeline, and your priorities. If speed and price matter most, you're looking at the bottom half of this list. If design and long-term performance matter most, you're looking at the top 3. And if you want a genuinely different approach to value entirely, that number 1 spot is worth a serious look. If this breakdown saved you hours of research, do me a favor, smash that like button, and let me know in the comments which one of these 10 you'd actually build. I read literally every comment, and it helps me pick the next comparison video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? We're building out a full series comparing tiny homes, container homes, and off-grid builds for 2026, and you do not want to miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next one.